Got my sword on my side while I'm chilling in my ride. Meditating on my life, meditating on my life. Meditating to the vibe while I'm slapping 75. Got my sword on my side while I'm chilling in my ride. Meditating on my life, meditating on my life.
Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ bless. We back with another class. All praise to the Most High. All right, let's pull that thumbnail back up. Read that for me, sir. What we talking about tonight?
I sit as a king, comfortable and complacent.
That's what we talking about tonight. And that's not something that's looked at as good. That may be the mentality of some people up in here. You may feel like you've made it. You may feel like you have arrived. So you have become comfortable and complacent. What we finna talk about today? Slothfulness. That's what we finna talk about today. So before we get into it, let's start off with the first definition. Let's start off with the first definition. Yep, complacent. Let me make sure I'm looking at it right with y'all. Go ahead, read it when you got it, Prophet.
Complacent describes feeling so satisfied with your own abilities or current situation that you stop trying to improve or fail to recognize potential risks.
That's some brothers, some sisters amongst us. You feel like you are satisfied with where you are. You don't have to make no improvements. You have arrived. You made it to the mountaintop. Whatever little saying that you want to say. And you gotten to a point where you fail to recognize potential risks. You a bit big-headed too. Read on.
It generally implies an attitude of smug self-satisfaction.
Smug self-satisfaction. That's not good. That's a negative connotation. Read.
And a lack of concern for changing circumstances or emerging dangers.
Because if you comfortable, you're not looking for danger. You are not looking out for the oncoming threat. We cannot be that. Get Ezekiel 3 and verse 17.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17.
Read.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
So God said he made his prophets watchmen. A watchman looks out for oncoming danger.
Come on.
You cannot look on for oncoming danger if you're comfortable and you're complacent. You don't think it's dangerous around you. You don't think that any problems may arise because you're comfortable and you're complacent. A watchman, in order for a watchman to do that, he got to be looking around. He got to be seeing potential risk factors, potential things that could take place. Yes, I like that photo. That's some of y'all up in here. That's why certain things is not happening like they supposed to. That's why certain people is not moving like they should, because you're comfortable and complacent. Read on.
Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
Read.
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
So if we don't do our job because we comfortable and we complacent, we will have blood on our hands, brothers. You sisters, you don't fulfill your role, there will be judgment coming to you as well. We must fulfill our purpose and our role. You can't do that if you comfortable and complacent. And then if you comfortable and complacent, you're going to stay stagnant. You are not going to evolve. Every year you should be getting better in this truth. If you're not getting better, what you got to do? Examine. From there. That's verse 19. You read verse 19?
No, sir.
Read verse 19.
Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way.
So if we warn the people like we supposed to, and they say, man, I don't believe that. I ain't doing that ish. Read.
He shall die in his iniquity.
He or she is going to die in their sin, but what?
But thou hast delivered thy soul.
But we have delivered our soul by prophesying to the people, by going to go find God's people worldwide. So we got to understand the heavy responsibility that is on us, especially the men. But going back to the comfortable and complacent people, get Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24. Why are you comfortable and complacent? What is this class about? What are we talking about tonight? Because it's a lot of y'all sit up in here day in and day out and you ain't doing nothing because you comfortable, because you complacent. God finna tell you what it is multiple times during this class. Proverbs 12:24.
The book of Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 24.
Read.
The hand of the diligent shall bear rule.
So a diligent man, a diligent woman is going to bear rule. They're going to be successful. They're going to accomplish whatever the goal is that they trying to accomplish. But what? Read on.
But the slothful shall be under tribute.
The slothful is going to be under tribute. They're going to be owing people. They're going to have to pay people. You under tribute, you got to pay somebody else. You are the one who has to bring forth wealth to somebody. But it says the diligent will bear rule. From there, get Proverbs, jump down to verse 27. Stay in the same chapter. Yep, stay in the same chapter.
Verse 27. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting.
So a slothful man, he ain't going to cook what he just got done killing. He just went hunting, and he's so lazy, because that's what slothful is. He's so lazy, he won't even cook the food he found. Yep, pull that picture up. That's some brothers and some sisters. Lazy. You ask them to do something, they got 101 excuses why they can't, and it's just because they lazy. They are slothful. You're going to see in this lesson tonight, God is not fond of slothful people at all. Read on. Read on. I'm sorry, read that again.
The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting. But the substance of a diligent man is precious.
But it says the substance of a diligent man or a woman is precious. A diligent man or a woman is going to value whatever it is that they have. It's precious to them. But the lazy person, the comfortable person, the complacent person does not value anything. They just a bump on the log. They just sit there because they comfortable. From there, drop that. Get Proverbs chapter 19 and 24. Because this is something that we overlook. We overlook this. We be talking about fornication. Yes, our people be in the midst of that. Adultery, lying, stealing. But then when you get to talking about the other stuff like murmuring or being slothful or holding a grudge. This stuff going over everybody's head. Oh, I don't know what that is. Nobody zeroes in on that. You zero in on the popular sins, I should say, if that's the correct way to say it. You zero in on the popular stuff. Well, I ain't doing that. But you're doing some murmuring. But you're doing some grudges. You got some secret hatred. But you're slothful. These is things that we overlook because they don't get the light shined on them a lot. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 24. A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom.
Read.
And will not so much as bring it to his mouth again.
Read it again.
A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom.
So a slothful man hides his hand. You so lazy, you hide your hands from doing anything. You put your hand in your bosom so you can't do no work. That's how lazy you is. And guess what? The lazy, y'all can pull that up. You might as well pull it up. Pull that up. Some of us is overweight, fat as hell because you're slothful. You won't get up and make a change. You will not do anything to fix your situation. That's the same for if it's obesity. That's the same for if you got certain habits, drugs, addictions. You're so lazy, you won't lift your hands to do anything. That's what it's saying about this slothful man or woman. Read it again.
A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom.
Read.
And will not so much as bring it to his mouth again.
You so lazy, this slothful person won't even bring their hand to their mouth. You lazy. From there, I can't say you so slothful you won't eat, because a lot of us do that. You can tell. Yeah, sword sound. Get Proverbs 18 and verse 9 and 9. Proverbs 18 and verse 9.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 9.
Wow, the Bible talk about being lazy? Yes, it does. We got to check that spirit. We can't afford to be lazy in today's time. Read.
He also that is slothful in his work is a brother to him that is a great waster.
Read that again.
He also that is slothful in his work.
If you're lazy in the work that you do, read.
Is brother to him that is a great waster.
You're a brother to him that is a great waster. You and the person that's a great waster, y'all are synonymous. Y'all are one in the same. You're no better than him. From there, get Proverbs. We're going to stay in Proverbs 22 and 13. And then get Proverbs 21, 25.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
The slothful man saith, there is a lion without. I shall be slain in the streets.
What do the slothful man or woman say?
The slothful man saith, there is a lion without.
Hold this. Pull that definition up. We're going to hit these other two scriptures in Proverbs. That's the definition of a waster. Read that.
Waster, Merriam-Webster. One that spends or consumes extravagantly and without thought for the future.
That's why some of us, we be in certain situations. You spending money on stuff that ain't important. You spending money on stuff that have nothing to do with what you got going on in the truth. I was going to go to the precept, but jump down to C. Read that.
One that lays waste, destroyer.
A what?
Destroyer.
A what?
Destroyer.
That's another definition for a waster, a destroyer. You destroying yourself because you're slothful. That's why things is not happening how they should happen in your life or in the body. Certain things is not moving because certain people are not doing what they supposed to do because of slothfulness. From there, let's get that other precept in. Let's finish up in Proverbs, where we was just at.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
The slothful man saith, there is a lion without.
Uh-huh.
I shall be slain in the streets.
It's a lion in the street. It's not really a lion in the street. That's an excuse. Hey, sis, we need you to help bake unleavened bread. Well, I got to wash my car, and then I got a whole bunch of BS. Hey, brother, we need you to come help out, help us clean the school up. We got a feast day coming up. I got something coming up. Whole time, some of you knee deep on your phone going to websites. Not no Wikipedia, not nothing informative. It's you, your phone, and Jergens. Some of you. Or for the sisters, is you, your phone, and Duracell. You ain't got nothing going on, or it's drugs. You finding the excuse. There is not an actual lion in the street. You're just making an excuse. That's why stuff is not getting done. You and the Lord know. That's between you and the Lord. But you know you making excuses. And then wonder why don't nobody ask you to do nothing. Because you that flake sister. You that flake brother. Nobody can. I see y'all. Y'all got that a little late. They was on it. That's what you doing. Oh, I got something, I got something going on. I got this and that. A whole bunch of excuses. Every time you ask them, can they help or do something? Every time something came up. That's what came up. You in that phone in that bed. It be crazy. And then we got officers that have social media, but then the same people don't help out on social media for the truth. But they be on social media scrolling like this. Finish that up in Proverbs.
That was it. Or
Let's get the next one. 21:25. I think that was the next one.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 25.
Yep.
The desire of the slothful killeth him.
What does the desire of the slothful man or woman do?
Killeth him.
It kills you. Why? Read.
For his hands refuse to labor.
Because your hands refuse to labor. Your desire to just sit on your behind and not do nothing, that's hurting you in the long run. And then if you somebody that got a responsibility in here, you're hurting the body. If you somebody that's supposed to edit videos and them videos ain't edited, now the video coming out a month later because of your slothfulness. If you somebody that's supposed to clean up before the body come in, before we get something going, okay, you showing up late or you ain't clean, the cleaning got to be done while they walking in. What type of stuff is that? Or chairs or a setup got to be done while they coming in. No, when they come in, they supposed to be able to sit down, enjoy the feast, enjoy whatever festivities that we got going on. That's what a diligent man or woman to do. But the slothful, they going to drag they behind. Read that again.
The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor.
Your slothfulness is going to hurt you in the end. You lazy. If it's a gathering somewhere, you complaining about distance. Why not carpool with nobody? When you was in the world, you had all these harebrained schemes to do stuff. Now we dumbfounded. Well, I don't know what to do. It ain't that you don't know what to do for some people. It's what they don't want to do. I'm going to say that again. It ain't that you don't know what to do. It's that you don't want to do it. That's what it is. And you disguise it with an excuse. Read that one more time.
The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor.
Get Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. Let's get that. Ecclesiastes 10, 18.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through.
So we can literally see that when we roll through the streets of Chicago. I like that image. That's perfect. You can see that when you roll through Gary, Indiana. The city is decayed. Why? Due to lack of care to the infrastructure, the houses, the homes. You can ride through Inglewood on the south side of Chicago. It is so many abandoned buildings. You can go to the south suburbs in Harvey. It's so many abandoned buildings. It looked like I Am Legend when you roll through one of these places. And how does that happen? That's due to slothfulness. So though I gave an example with buildings, we see examples of buildings. That can also be your spirit. That can also be the school. That can also be brothers and sisters that you neglect if you're a leader. Through much slothfulness, the building decayeth. If the leaders are not doing what we supposed to do and care for the flock, they can decay. We got some spirits, you got to reach out to them. You got to check on them because at this point in their walk, they're not open. They're not reaching out. They're not talking. So you got to go find them. Why? Because they're closed off. Maybe one day they're going to get out of that. But if we leave them alone to themselves, they're going to decay. Just like these buildings, just like these cities that I just mentioned. The city we in. Through much slothfulness, the building, the structure will decay. That's why slothfulness cannot be tolerated. We can't be being slothful. We can't be getting comfortable. We can't be getting complacent. We got so much work to do. From there, read that again.
By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through.
Through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. There are literal buildings in Chicago where the roof is caved in and everybody just go past. Some people live next to the house. We destroyed mentally. You live right next to a house that is barely standing up. And the city ain't came down and knocked it down. It's like, man, if it ain't gonna get renovated, tear it down. But in our neighborhoods, it's left like that. All that stuff play on your psyche, it play on your mind. Same thing in Philly. That's even worse. You got houses smacked together tight. Remind me of in Chicago, we call it row houses. But it's smaller. Trash everywhere. Everything congested. Those type of environments create the anger, create the violence, create the drug use. Y'all can pull some of this stuff up I see y'all got. Pull it up. Read that again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 18. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through.
Get Sirach 22 and verse 1. Let's see what God says. You gotta understand, just like nobody will be fond of the brother or the sister that's causing contention. They're not gonna want to be around you. Same way with somebody that's slothful. Soon as your name come up, him? No, I'm not using him for nothing. Her? No, I'm not using her for nothing. You don't want that on your name. Get Sirach 22 and verse 1. Read that.
Sirach chapter 22 and verse 1. A slothful man is compared to a filthy stone.
You're compared to a filthy stone, a rock with mud and dirt and poop. That's what you compare to when you slothful. Read.
And everyone will hiss him out to his disgrace.
Everyone is going to hiss you out to your disgrace. Everybody gonna be like, oh, this dude. You had him do it, it ain't gonna get done. You really want that reputation? Once you get that reputation, that stay with you. Now you trying to, can I join this? No, not you. No. Why? You don't get nothing done. You slothful. You lazy. People give you a task, they never hear nothing back. Read.
Verse 2. A slothful man is compared to the filth of a dunghill.
Can we get a picture of a dunghill? Get a picture of a dunghill. It's written in Old English, so some of us might be like, what is dung? I know in Philippians, Paul say, I counted my life as dung. Let's show them some dung. Anyone to do? Yeah, pull it up. Pull that up. Read that verse again while we getting that image.
Sirach chapter 22 and verse 2. A slothful man is compared to the filth of a dunghill.
Read on.
Every man that takes it up will shake his hand.
If you got some poop on your hand, you would shake your hand like, ugh. That's how people look at you. Him, her, because you're slothful, you're lazy. You can't get nothing done with a lazy brother or a lazy sister. Them type of people, you telling them, man, go sit down somewhere. Get out of here. Go from here. From there. That's it on that?
Yes, sir.
Y'all got that image? Yeah, pull that up. Pull that image up. Sirach 37 and 11. Let's pull that image up. Pull that up. That's what you is when you slothful. That's how people look at you. Don't nobody want you around. They don't want you in the vicinity because you are good for nothing. You don't want that on your name. Sirach 37 verse 11.
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous.
You can't consult with a woman and she's jealous of that same woman. You can't consult with her about another woman and she's jealous of her. Read.
Neither with a coward in matters of war.
You can't talk about war with a scary brother. Read.
Nor with a merchant concerning exchange.
He's a merchant. He's a salesman. He don't know nothing about exchange. Read.
Nor with a buyer of selling.
Can't talk to a buyer about selling. All he knows is spend, spend, spend. He don't know how to sell. Read.
Nor with an envious man of thankfulness.
An envious man don't understand how to be thankful. They're full of jealousy, hatred. Read.
nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness.
If you ain't got mercy, you don't understand kindness. Those of y'all that got hatred up in here, you don't understand mercy or kindness. All you understand is hatred, envy, jealousy. Read.
Nor with the slothful for any work.
Read that again.
Nor with the slothful for any work.
All these people, God is telling us not to deal with them in any matter of counsel. Read.
Nor with an hireling for a year of finishing work.
Because a hireling is temporary. Maybe some people is temporary. That's why they moving like that. You're not supposed to deal with a slothful person in finishing work, because they are not going to get it done. They are going to hinder the work. They are going to hinder the building. And we ain't going to have that up in here. Read on.
Nor with an idle servant of much business.
There we go. An idle servant of much business. They always idle. Idle. Say they got something going on. They ain't got nothing going on. This what's going on with the idle person. Stay in Sirach 33 and 27. This what's going on with the idle person. Read that.
Sirach chapter 33 and verse 27.
Read.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle.
That's why it's good to be productive. I'm not going to say busy, because some people is busy doing nothing. Busy doing things that's not productive. Busy doing things that are distracting them. Read.
For idleness teacheth much evil.
They always say idle time is the devil's playground. That's a quote people always say. You got leisure time. You need to use your leisure time for something productive. That's what you doing. When they say they got a lot of stuff going on, that's what's going on. They sitting there with the devil, trying to figure out what they finna get into. Yeah, y'all can pull some of them images up. Yeah, pull, yeah. This what's going on. I got something going on. This what you doing. Read that again while we going through these images. This what you doing.
Sirach chapter 33 and verse 27. Send him to labor, that he be not idle.
That's what's going on. That's idleness. All this stuff comes from idleness. That's where all that stuff come from. That's why people be ending up in places they ain't supposed to be, because they idle. You're not doing nothing productive. Read that one more time.
Send him to labor, that he be not idle. For idleness teacheth much evil.
From there,
it was a little bit on that.
It was some more? Read on.
On 37 and 11.
Oh, yeah, go back. Yep. You got to say something, bro. I'm telling you, I be 100 scriptures going through my mind. Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous.
Read.
Neither with a coward in matters of war. Nor with a merchant concerning exchange. Nor with a buyer of selling. Nor with an envious man of thankfulness. Nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness. Nor with the slothful for any work. Nor with an hireling for a year of finishing work. Nor with an idle servant of much business.
Read.
Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel.
God said don't talk to none of them about no counsel, because they not productive. They're not going to help you. They going to hurt you. This remind me of in 2 Timothy when they talk about the wood, the hay, the stubble. If a man purge himself from these, everybody that come through these doors don't be right. You got to be mindful who you surrounding yourself with. Understand that. Read on. Verse 12. Read verse 12.
Verse 12. But be continually with a godly man.
You need to be with a godly man or a godly woman. Read.
Whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord. Whose mind is according to thy mind. And will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
The only way you going to know if they fit this description is if you around them. If you actually see them interact, you actually see how they carry themselves. If they marry, you see how they act with their family, with their wife, with their husband, if it's a sister. You see how they deal with their kids, how they deal with other brothers, other sisters. You in offices with them, or you see them working in their office and you see how they moving. That's how you going to tell if the person is godly. Christ said you know a man by his fruits. From there, Let's go back to, we left the definition of complacency. Man, because I'll look up, I won't go to none of that stuff. Just be flying through scriptures. After complacency, get that next screenshot. Get that next screenshot. Yep. Key characteristics. Read that.
Key characteristics: self-satisfied and over the top, often smug contentment with the status quo.
That's what you think about yourself. It says, and over the top, often smug contentment. I ain't got to do all that. It's some brothers, some sisters sit up in here. We be having stuff going on. They feel like they ain't got to participate because they've been around a long time. Or they feel like, I ain't got to do that. That's beneath them. What we got going on is beneath you, so you don't participate. You think you sit as a king or a queen up in here. Read on.
Apathetic, a lack of motivation to try harder or push for further improvement.
That's why you got people, they just sit there and it's year after year, is no change with them. They always in the same spot. You talk to them, then you talk to them again, and then you talk to them again, and they not moving. It's because of slothfulness. It's because of complacency. They have a lack of motivation to try harder or push for further improvement. Never feel like I've made it. I'm better. I'm complete. You should always be trying to improve yourself in some way. Next one.
Unaware, a failure to notice or properly prepare for actual dangers or problems.
Because you're complacent. You can't see no danger. You think everything good. Get the next one. Right? Make sure y'all taking note of this stuff. Yeah, zoom in on that. Yep, read.
Examples in context. Career. After 5 years of excellent reviews, he became complacent and stopped learning new software, allowing newer employees to pass him by.
That will happen in this truth. Because you feel like, I ain't got to do nothing. I made it. I'm there. I don't have to keep working. And we not in here to try to beat one another or compete with one another. But you will look up and certain people have surpassed you because they constantly evolving and you have become complacent where you are at. You don't think you need to improve. Next one.
Safety. We cannot afford to be complacent about our network security just because we haven't been hacked yet.
That can happen when you are complacent. Oh, ain't nothing bad ever happened, so I guess we good. No. A diligent person, a person that is vigilant, a person that is aware, they're not going to become complacent because they understand that danger can come from anywhere. Next one.
Daily life. A complacent smile spread across his face as he ignored the fact that he was falling behind on his team's project.
A lot of y'all don't be getting stuff done because you complacent. Let's read these synonyms.
Synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms: smug, self-satisfied, unbothered.
Some of y'all are unbothered up in here. You're unbothered. That's why you ain't doing nothing. You don't feel like you don't gotta elevate. Cause you're unbothered. You chilling. Read.
Apathetic.
Uh-huh.
Resting on one's laurels.
Now let's get the antonyms. Let's get the opposite.
Antonyms: concerned.
Uh-huh.
Attentive.
If you are complacent and comfortable, you are not these things we are reading. Read.
Mindful.
Uh-huh.
Ambitious.
Uh-huh.
Vigilant.
You're ambitious. You got some ambition to you. You trying to be innovative, create something, build something, do more, do better. You vigilant. You watching your surroundings for danger. You attentive. You taking attention to detail. You mindful. You concerned about others. You concerned about what you doing, how you carry yourself. A slothful, complacent, comfortable person does not have these traits. From there, that's it. Get the next one. Let's get the next one. Yep, comfortable. Read that. Scroll up to the top.
Comfortable. Comfortable describes a state of physical ease,
Read.
mental relaxation, or financial security.
You got mental ease and relaxation. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on that we need help with up in here. But you're at ease. You got some women that's at ease in here that don't help out. You got some brothers that's at ease and don't help out. Read on.
You can break its definition down into these core areas. Physical, providing a relaxed feeling in the body, free from pain, strain, or extreme temperatures. Example given, a comfortable pair of shoes, a comfortable temperature.
Read on.
Mental, free from stress, worry, or anxiety.
Is it wrong to be free from stress, worry, and anxiety? No. We talking about it in a negative context. These comfortable people in here, they're not worried about what's going on in the body. They're not worried about trying to help or trying to contribute. They're just sitting here. Read on.
Example given, making yourself comfortable in a new environment, feeling comfortable speaking in public. Financial, having an adequate income or enough savings to enjoy a good standard of living.
Let's get the next one, because that's some of us sitting up in here. Brother be asking about certain people, they comfortable. They feel like they ain't got to do nothing. It's slothfulness there. Let's read that. Complacency.
Complacency is a state of uncritical self-satisfaction combined with a lack of awareness or concern about potential risks, fault, or opportunities.
You are oblivious to all that because you chilling. You got your feet kicked up. Read.
People who are complacent often settle into their comfort zones.
Right there. A lot of people stay in their comfort. Look, this is all I want to do. This is all I'm going to do. Because that's their comfort zone. Read on.
People who are complacent often settle into their comfort zones, lose ambition, and resist change because the path of least resistance feels easier than striving for more.
There you go. That's why they don't move. Because the other path, if they get active in the body, they're going to be met with challenges. They're going to have more responsibility. They're going to have more things on their shoulders. So if they just stay in their bubble, they don't got to worry about nothing. That's easy for them. Get Romans 12 and 11. Read that. That's why, man, you got people be having all type of skill. Man, why that brother don't join this office? Because he's comfortable. He want to stay in his bubble. He don't want to use the talent that God gave him. He comfortable. Romans 12 and 11.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 11. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord.
We are supposed to be fervent for the Most High. We are supposed to be fervent for the Lord. We're supposed to be fervent about this truth on fire. Right. We're not supposed to be slothful. If we're slothful, we cannot accomplish anything. Look at that. That did not come by slothfulness. That came by diligence. Like, I'm going to just point something out. Like, y'all don't understand. We'll do something within 3 days or 1 day or 2 days. The amount of things that we do within a 3-day span or a 2-day span, you would think you would think that we had a week, like we did all of that within a week. No, that'd be put that back up. That'd be 1 day, put that back up. That's Baltimore. That'd be 1 day, that'd be 2 days, sometimes it'd be 3 days, sometimes it might just be 4 days. And prophets do all that work. All praises to the Most High for that. You could drop a bomb on that. All praises. You can't do stuff like that with slothfulness. Read that again.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 11. Not slothful in business. Fervent in spirit, serving the Lord.
Now, from there, these people, another thing with them, let's go back to the definitions. Get the next slide. And get Sirach 34 and hold that. That's the next slide. Yep, read that.
Psychological and biological drivers. Cognitive conservation. The brain forms neural pathways to make routine tasks require less energy and effort. This biological efficiency can lead to a state of decreased external awareness.
You get to the point where you're going through the motions. This is a daily routine. It's a lack of effort. Let me hurry up and get this ish out the way. That's how some of y'all is. Next one, read on.
Avoidance of risk.
This is another thing. This is why people stay in their comfort zone. This is why they become complacent. This is another thing. This may be some of us up in here. Read.
Fear of failure.
What?
Fear of failure.
That's why some people do not try to step out that comfort zone. They don't try to step out that little bubble, that little box, because of fear of failure. Read.
Fear of failure or the unknown often paralyzes people.
That scares people. Man, I ain't never been over nothing like that. I never had to manage something like that. Just do it. You need things like that for you to pull you out of your comfort zone and build you up and help you grow. If you are only dealing with things that you're comfortable with, you are not going to elevate or grow at all. You need something that's going to scare you. You need something that has a little bit of what I want to say. It's a bit mysterious. You don't really know how the outcome. You need stuff like that because that's going to stop you from getting what? Comfortable. Read on.
Causing them to settle for good enough rather than taking calculated risks.
That right there. That's why some of us do not do anything because that is safe. It's some brothers, they don't even want to, they got the skills. You can see it in them, but they don't want the extra load because they're afraid of failure. And it's a bit of a, like I said, it's mysterious. It's unknown. They don't know what's going to be on the other side. So they like, I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to just chill. I'm going to be cool right here. You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself. You either, it was a class, Captain Emmanuel did. You either moving forward or you moving backward. It ain't no such thing as stagnant because you're not moving. You either going in one direction or the other. So you forcing yourself to stay in this bubble, you are forcing yourself to go backwards because you're not growing. Read on.
Illusion of stability. A false sense of security tricks individuals.
You see what that said? It said illusion of stability. If I stay right here, it's stable. If I stay right here, I'm cool. Nothing's going to happen. Read on.
A false sense of security tricks individuals into believing that whatever worked in the past will work indefinitely in the future.
That's not true. Sometimes when you reach another point in your walk, in your life, in our life in this truth, you got to elevate yourself because what you was doing before ain't going to work now. You might got more on your shoulders. You might got new responsibility. More is being asked to you. The way you behave then is not going to work now. Read on.
Common warning signs. Individuals struggling with complacency typically exhibit several distinct behaviors.
Oh, let's read the behaviors of the complacent. Read that.
Phoning it in. Putting in minimal effort at work or in personal relationships.
They are bare minimum brothers and bare minimum sisters. They don't put that much energy into nothing. Read.
Resisting change.
Right there. It's a lot of people that are rigid. When you are rigid, you hate change. You got to be able to adapt to changes that may happen. Everything is not going to always be black and white or be written in the fine print. You got to be able to deal with curveballs when they come because they going to come. Read that.
Sticking strictly to established routines and dismissing new ideas.
You dismiss change. That's a lot of y'all up in here. A lot of us up in here. Dismiss change. You hate change. Read.
Taking shortcuts.
And you know how that's true. Sticking with that resistant change before we go to the next one. That's why you be having, like, you have an order come down and you will see somebody just so well, why we doing that? Why that change? Why not? Look, you got to go with the flow. We moving in another direction. It's because they resist change. Or if the change forces them to come out the comfort zone, that's when you see them get upset. You see them start to get angry. Read on. Taking shortcuts.
Taking shortcuts. Skipping crucial steps or checks. Relying entirely on past successes.
Guess what? That come with what? Complacency. That come with being comfortable because you skipping steps. You just checking the box. You going with the motions. You know what? Hurry up and get this stuff over with. That's what a lot of brothers and sisters do. Next one.
Stagnant growth. Stopping learning, reading, or seeking new self-improvement.
That's dangerous for you in this truth. We cannot stop learning. We cannot stop reading. Because the reading right there, they just talking about any type of reading or learning. No, the main thing we need to be reading is this Bible. That's the main thing. But this comfortable and complacent person, they stop reading, they stop studying, they stop going around men that they can learn from, women that they can learn from. They stay in their little box, and guess what? You're going to decay just like those buildings that we was just looking at if you don't shake that spirit. Read on. That's it on that. Get 1 Timothy 4, verse 15. It's crazy because I was just talking about this in a different setting. I was just talking about this. 1 Timothy 4 in verse 14, not 15, 14.
1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
This is Paul talking to Timothy. And now this is for us. We all have gifts and talents and strengths that will bring forth the Most High's kingdom, and we got to bring that stuff out. But a lot of y'all not tapping into that thing because of what? You comfortable and you complacent. Read.
Which was given thee by prophecy. With the laying on of the hands of the presbytery.
Read on.
Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them.
That's what we got to do. Guess what? If you slothful or complacent, you're not giving yourself wholly unto these things written. You not. You have ass in it. That's what you doing. Read.
That thy profiting may appear to all.
If you give yourself wholly to these things, your profiting will appear to all. They'll be like, damn, wait, that brother, he in the spirit. Oh, man, that sister, she in the spirit. Oh, people asking, hey, who set this up in Chicago? Oh, we got a sister, she got X amount of years of experience in that. She helped put it together, and she did this and she did that, and then we set it up and went from there. Oh, man. Now people asking for, hey, what's that sister number that did this in Chicago? Now people trying to get in contact with you because they seen them works. They want you to help get them works done in their school. Same thing with the brothers. Oh, man, that brother did that. Hey, have him come over here next Sabbath so he can show the brothers how to do that. But y'all neglect the gift. We neglect the gift that is in us because of slothfulness, because of complacency. We got to shake that spirit. Get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter, I think it's 7 and 12. I may be wrong. I want to talk about Phil real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 7, verse 12.
You said when it's talking about fear?
Yep. Fear is a betraying of the secures, which reason offereth. Because it said a false sense of security. That's exactly what fear does. But I want to get it out the Bible. Bible say the same thing. Seven in verse, because I see 12, that ain't it. Get 1 Timothy 1 and 7. I'm finna find it. 1 Timothy 1 and verse 7. 17 and 12, okay. I subtracted a number. 17 and 12. Took a number off. 17 and 12, then get 1 Timothy 1 and 7.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
Read that again.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
So succor means comfort. That's what it means. Succor means to comfort. So fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors. It's a false sense of comfort. You let your fear freeze you. That's why you don't move. That's why you don't do nothing in this truth. You're afraid. Man, if I do this, this may happen, or what if I mess up? And you creating all these different scenarios in your head. In your brain is the movie Inception. Pull up the I like that right there. Pull up the theatrical poster for Inception. This is what you do to yourself with the fear. The movie Inception with y'all know his name.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep. Pull that up. It's another movie that brothers and sisters, y'all should watch. Yep, I just need the poster. Pull that thing up. That's what be going on in y'all brains. Blow it up. That's what be going on in y'all brains. Everything tossing and turning and flipping and turning around in your head. You think this gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Go watch that. You brothers and sisters that's letting fear stop you. And then this the killer part about it. It's a false sense of comfort, right? You letting the fear stop you, you gonna look up, years gonna go by. A decade could go by because of fear. 2 Timothy 1 and 7.
2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7.
Remember, Bishop Nathaniel has said this one time. We either win or we learn. Understand that. We either win or we learn. You messed up, you learn from it, and you keep it pushing. So I didn't have people come to me like, man, this such and such happened. I'm going to tell them, learn from it and keep it pushing. Because if you dwell on it, it's going to lead to you what? Being fearful. Not because this one thing happened, you ain't going to never try to do nothing ever again. Read 2 Timothy 1 verse 7.
2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7.
Read.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
God did not give us that spirit. We cannot roll in that spirit. It's a crippling spirit. You scared. You may be afraid to take on new responsibility. You may be afraid to bring forth your idea that you've been sitting on for some months. You may be afraid to make certain decisions. And then if you're afraid to make certain decisions, those are things that may hurt you later on in your life. You cannot live your life in fear. Read that again.
2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7.
Paul told Timothy this. This is for us today. Read.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power.
But of what?
But of power.
You got power with you, with the Lord. Read.
And of love. And of a sound mind.
Remember Isaiah 26 and 3. I will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee. But we don't do that. That's why your mind all over the place. Now, why are you afraid? Mark 4 and 40. Why are you afraid? Why is this fear gripping you?
Mark chapter 4 and verse 40.
Read.
And he said unto them, why are ye so fearful?
Christ said, why are you so fearful? Read.
How is it that ye have no faith?
Read that again.
And he said unto them, why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith?
So likewise for us today, we have the truth. We know who we are. We know the outcome of how this movie gonna end that we in. But we fearful because of what? Lack of faith. You telling me you the greatest people on the face of the earth and there's something that you can't do? Not true. We can do anything as long as our mind is set on the Lord and we keeping God's commandments. Is nothing that can stop us. And history has shown that. From there, read that one more time.
Mark chapter 4 and verse 40. And he said unto them, why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith?
That's why brothers and sisters don't move. It's because of fear. That's why you don't do nothing. You frozen. You like, what's it? You like Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. That's you. You rock solid. You frozen. You like the little superheroes that use ice. That's what you frozen. You don't do nothing because of fear. That fear has crippled you. It silenced you. And that's going to hurt you in the end. How does it hurt you? Get Sirach 34. Sirach 34 and verse 9. Sirach 34 verse 9. Read that.
Sirach chapter 34 and verse 9. A man that have traveled knoweth many things.
Why I go right here? It's some people that feel like they don't got to travel or move around. You feel like they know me here in my city. You won't travel to gain wisdom. You won't travel to go learn anything because you're comfortable. You're complacent. You feel like this is your kingdom. No. Read.
And he that hath much experience will declare wisdom.
You can only do that by what? Traveling. It's so much stuff that you see when you traveling on your way there. I don't care if you go 3 hours away, 4 hours away, 5 hours away, 8 hours away. It's some type of experience that you're going to gain. When you go to that other school, they might do things differently. You like, man, that's nice. I like the way I'm going to take that back to my school. Or you might go visit somewhere and you got the captains there, the deacons there, the bishops there. And you get to sit there and get the wisdom. I like these photos. Keep them photos rolling. You get to get the wisdom. It's certain wisdom that comes out when you travel. A brother might send you notes, but brothers know that travel is different when you actually sitting in the room. It's certain stuff that you had to be there to see. Certain things that transpire, and you can learn from that and take that back with you. You grow from that experience. Read on.
Verse 10. He that have no experience knoweth little.
When you lack experience, you know of little. You don't know how to handle certain things because you ain't been around who? The leadership. The men that the Lord, the Spirit of God is on. You ain't been around them. Sisters ain't been around senior sisters that they can learn from. So what does that do? That hurts your growth. That hurts your experience. Read.
But he that have traveled is full of prudence.
You're full of prudence. Like when you see the leadership deal with certain matters, it's a level of wisdom, a high level of wisdom. Like, man, okay. Because most young men, we think we got to be gun-ho about everything. And then when you see leadership handle stuff, you be like, man, okay, that's how I got to move. But you're not going to know that if you always in your hometown. You always in your city. You think you sitting as a king. Read.
When I traveled, I saw many things. And I understand more than I can express.
Man, it's sometimes you experience so much, it's hard to put it in words. Understanding coming out. You not just the scriptural understanding, how to break this down. What is this prophecy going into? What is this dark saying really saying? No, how to deal with your wife, how to be a better husband, how to be a better father, how to deal with conflict. It's some people that could sit around and be around for years and they don't know how to handle conflict when they got a problem with somebody. You would think, you would be like, man, damn, this person been around for a minute, but they don't know how to apply scripture one. That's that lack of experience. Read on.
I was oft times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things.
This go back, you could precept that with 2 Corinthians 11 and 23. A lot of times when men travel, they have certain experience. It be dangerous on some of them trips. From there. So we got the traveling, lack of traveling. Get Sirach 6 and 32.
Sirach chapter 6 and verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught.
If you want to learn, you will be taught. If you desire to grow in the spirit, become better, you're going to be taught. Read.
And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent.
If you apply your mind, you will become wise. That's what it means to be prudent. You will become wise. Read.
If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding.
You got to love to hear. Some people don't love to hear. They want to come around when we dancing and food being served. They don't love to hear. When it's a circle and people talking about, man, how to keep your marriage alive, don't nobody want to hear that. When people talking about, man, how to deal with hatred, how to deal with envy, how to deal with jealousy, what these things that actually take place with us in this truth, don't nobody want to hear that. You want to come around for the party. Negro love the party. Read.
And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise.
You got to actually be attentive. You got to want to hear. Remember in the Gospels, you had Martha was serving, but Mary Magdalene, she was right there at the feet of Christ. I got to hear everything he's saying. I got to get this wisdom. Everybody not like that though. Read.
Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
It's some of us won't even pick up the phone and call. You can't physically be there. You won't even pick up the phone and call. You got officers over you, captains over you, deacons, bishops. You ain't even gonna pick up the phone. You sure as hell ain't gonna gas your car up and make a ride. Because you comfortable, you complacent. I ain't gotta do that. I ain't gotta ride over there. That's your problem. You think you the king. You the kingpin. That's why you not trying to grow. Read that again. That last verse.
Stand in the multitude of the elders and cleave unto him that is wise.
From there, you could drop that. Let's get the next thing in the lineup. Bring me back, y'all. I went to 1,000 scriptures, ain't go to none of this stuff. Oh, yeah, how to overcome it.
How to overcome it.
Uh-huh.
Breaking the cycle of complacency requires intentional disruption of daily routine.
You gotta do an intentional disruption. That's just like when you overweight. You have to intentionally disrupt your routine. You sit around and you be a big pig, a fat pig. You got to intentionally disrupt that. No, we going to the gym. We ain't eating until after we get out this gym. And when we eating something healthy. You gotta go cold turkey and just shock yourself. How we do that? Let's read.
Self-assessment.
Uh-huh.
Take regular inventory of your personal, professional, and health goals to see where you have stagnated.
So you have to see, where did I stop moving? It say stagnated. Let's just say what it is. You stop moving. You ain't moving forward. You have stopped moving. So you got to examine yourself and see, damn, where did I fall off at? How am I going backwards? Write down your goals. Get a dry erase board. Write this stuff down. Damn, I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to do this. Why I ain't do that? Oh, I remember. You know at what point you was slothful. You know at one point when you ain't give your full effort. You know that. Scripture say, know ye not yourself. Get the next one.
Set stretch goals. Push yourself to learn a new skill or pursue a project slightly outside your current capabilities.
You got to do that. That's where it talk about scaring yourself. You got to do something that is uncomfortable for you to get yourself out of that bubble of comfortability. Damn, you know what? That's a different atmosphere. I don't know. Jump into it anyway. You need that. You need to shock yourself so you're not being comfortable and complacent. Read on.
Embrace discomfort.
Uh-huh.
Intentionally break monotonous habits by changing small.
Yeah, that ain't no word we use. We do not use that word. Monotonous. You know, you be in the workplace. I think monotonous mean it's small or it's insignificant. They don't want to say it's small, so they'll tell you, oh, don't worry about that. It's monotonous. You like, what? Read.
Intentionally break monotonous habits by changing small daily routines to stimulate the brain's executive functions.
You need to embrace that struggle. You need to embrace that difficulty. Now, a lot of times, it don't mean you ain't supposed to be doing it. A lot of times, hey, this is a different level. It's uncomfortable for you. And sometimes we need that. Read. That's it. I think we got video 1 after that. Or no, we got we read Merriam-Webster already. Get that Merriam-Webster definition for complacent. Go ahead, read that.
Complacent, adjective. Marked by satisfaction with the status quo, especially when accompanied by unawareness or actual dangers or deficiencies. Marked by complacency.
Marked by complacency. You not aware of nothing. You comfortable. We can't afford to be comfortable. Letter B. Read B. What that say?
Self-satisfied.
You are self-satisfied. Well, I done got to this point. That's good enough. That shouldn't be your mindset. You should always feel like I could do more. I know me. I'm always looking like, man, I want to do more. I'll be upset I can't do certain things because I'm always trying to see where I can improve. I ain't made it, and none of us in here should think that we made it. Number 2, read that. What are you?
Unconcerned.
You're what?
Unconcerned.
You're unconcerned. You don't think that the way you moving is wrong. You can't see that your behavior is detrimental to you. You can't see that. Drop that. Let's get video 1. Yeah, I got to keep this right here. We won't go to no videos. I'm going to be like, dang.
I fear complacency more than I fear failure. Failure is a temporary setback. Complacency is a slow death of potential. This is the essence.
Hold on. We got to really chew the cud on what he said. He said complacency is the slow death of potential. It's some of y'all in here, we can see the gifts that you got. We can see the spirit that's on you and what you could do and what you could become in this truth. But you're complacent, and that complacency is going to destroy your potential. Go ahead.
Is a temporary setback. Complacency is a slow death of potential. This is the essence of true growth and achievement. Failure may bruise your ego, a wound that heals with time and reflection. But complacency, it silently erodes your dreams, dulls your skills, and blinds you to opportunities. Progress is built on a foundation of discomfort. Discomfort with where you are and a burning desire for where you could be. When you embrace challenges, push your boundaries, and remain hungry for improvement, you cultivate a mindset of constant evolution. Growth isn't just about learning new things, it's about unlearning limitations, challenging your assumptions, and redefining what's possible. The most dangerous phrase in any language is, I'm satisfied. True masters are eternal students, always questioning, always pushing, always becoming. Remember, the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you've lost your way. Stay hungry, stay foolish, stay unstoppable. If you agree, then hit the follow button because this account is for you.
Hey, drop a bomb on that. If you feel like you have arrived, you have lost your way. If you think you a king or a queen where you at, you have lost your way. If you think you ain't got to learn nothing new, if you think you ain't got to improve no more, you just that bad, you just that cold-blooded, you have lost your way. You've lost your way. You have forgotten what this is all about. 2 Corinthians 13:5. That's you in that image right there. That's you. 2 Corinthians 13:5.
2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
You got to examine you. Where am I falling short? Have I become complacent? Have I become comfortable? Have I gotten slothful? Have I gotten lazy during this time in my walk? And once you identify that, you got to keep it real with yourself. We always telling each other, keep it 100. We got to keep it real with ourselves. When you do a self-examination, you got to say, man, I could do more than what I'm doing. I'm too comfortable. I could strive for more. I could be greater than what I am. And then once you examine that, now you come up with a plan to do so. From there, get the next video. I got another video as well that I'm looking for that's going to help us. Play that next one, video 2.
Hey, you. One of the enemies of success and a hindrance from stopping you from reaching your best self is complacency. Complacency is being overly satisfied with your current situation to the point that you don't feel the need to improve, change your circumstance, or acknowledge and realize the potential risk and dangers. And so complacency does two things. It harbors you and it hinders you. When something is being harbored, it's being sheltered, it's being kept safe, right? And it's natural for us to want to be in a safe place to the point that we can't be hurt, harmed, or in danger. But when it comes to complacency, when you're in a safe place, you become stagnant. You become comfortable to the point that you don't want to get up and move. You don't want to take the next steps of action. You don't want to improve yourself. You're comfortable in being who you are right now, whether it's detriment to you being your best self, okay? The second thing that complacency does, it hinders you. It stops you from elevating. It stops you from reaching your higher heights. It stops you from being who you were created and destined to be. So a lot of people get complacent, not because they want to be, but because they get slowful, they get lazy, or they may not know the steps to move forward or to how to take the next steps. And because they don't know how and don't want to ask for help, they'll just stay stagnant where they are. And so some time ago by 1, 2, 3, 4 years have passed by, and they have not changed. They have not evolved. They have not advanced. And they're trying to figure out why. And as opposed to taking account and acknowledging they've been complacent, they want to place blame and accountability on someone else. So take stock of yourself, reflect. See, have you been complacent in areas where you need growth? Whether it's your physical, your mental, your spiritual, or your emotions. And if you recognize some complacency, take the initiative to step out of your comfort zone and become the best that you were created and designed to be. The strong way, man. I'll holler at y'all later.
Hey, drop a bomb, man. We need to hear that. The perils of complacency. That's what you doing to yourself. For those of you that feel like you ain't got to do nothing, get the next video. And I sent 2 more things, but that's towards the end.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now it's a little language in here. It's a little language. She gonna do some cussing. But a lot of us, we cuss like sailors. As quiet as it's kept. Go ahead.
And it is what it is type of bitch. Like, I get it, certain situations, it is what it is. But if you like that with everything, like, you don't got no fight in you, like, you just complacent and you just happy with like, no, it ain't. Like, one thing about me, like, if what it is ain't doing what it need to do, it ain't about to be what it is when I'm done. Sorry. It ain't no, don't bring that it is what it is shit over here. It ain't, no. It's about to be not.
Uh-oh. Hey, we need to hear that. She cussed a little bit, but what she said was a valid point. You can't always have that nonchalant, it is what it is, whatever spirit with every single situation. You can't be like that. Now let's go to the scriptures. Let's look at one of the forefathers. Let's look at Nehemiah. Did Nehemiah have a it is what it is spirit? Was he comfortable? Was he complacent? Did he think he sat as a king? Let's see what Nehemiah did. Nehemiah chapter 1. We're going to jump around real quick. The book of Nehemiah is an excellent history to read because you see how the forefathers move. Nehemiah 1 and verse 1. Read that.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hekeliah. And it came to pass in the month of Cheslu, in the 20th year, and I was in Shushan the palace.
Read.
That Hanani, one of my brethren, came he and certain men of Judah.
FYI, Nehemiah was from the tribe of Judah. Read.
And I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem.
So when Hanani came to Nehemiah, he asked, hey, how's the brothers doing? What's the estate of the brothers? Is they good? How's everybody doing back at Jerusalem? Read on.
And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. And it came to pass when I heard these words that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven.
You see that? He heard what happened, and what did he do? He prayed and he fasted. We got to get back to praying and fasting consistently. The scripture says, pray without ceasing. We must fast to get over certain spirits. You need to do them both, praying and fasting. Understand that. Read on.
And said, I beseech thee, O Lord God of heaven, the great and terrible God, that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments. Let thine ear now be attentive and thy eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant.
Okay, jump down to verse 8.
Verse 8. Remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations.
Y'all see that? That go back to Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, and so on. Deuteronomy 4:27. He's repeating what was written in the law of Moses, because by this time, where are we at? This is the Persian captivity. Read on.
But if you
I like them images too. We got scattered, put in slavery. Same way we did over here in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Japan, China, and I don't want to say the Middle East, that's a made up term, all in those Islamic countries where we was forced to serve and be slaves. Same thing to this day. But why did it happen? Read on.
But if ye turn unto me and keep my commandments and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost part of the heaven, yet will I gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there.
Jump up to verse 7. Why did all that happen to us? Read.
Verse 7. We have dealt very corruptly against thee.
We dealt very corruptly against God. Read on.
And have not kept the commandments.
We did not keep the commandments. That's why we was in captivity under the Persians, because we did not keep God's commandments. Read on.
Nor the statutes, nor the judgments which thou commandest thy servant Moses.
It's the same thing for us today. We didn't go through the transatlantic slave trade and the sub-Saharan slave trade because we just fell on hard times or we got the short end of the stick. That happened to us because we did not keep God's commandments. So Nehemiah understood the condition that we was in. But don't forget the thought. We got a problem that's presented to him. He just heard the people is in affliction and the walls of Jerusalem is broken down. From there, jump to chapter 2. We're going to read 1, 2, 5.
Nehemiah chapter 2 and verse 1. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him, and I took up the wine and gave it unto the king.
Uh-huh.
Now I had not been before time said in his presence.
So Nehemiah was a cupbearer. That was his job in the Persian Empire. He was a cupbearer. He was the one that had to taste the wine and the water for the king to make sure there was no poison in it. That's a dangerous job, because if it is poison in it, he going to drop dead right there. That was his job. Read.
Wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick?
Read on.
This is nothing else but sorrow of heart.
Read.
Then I was very sore afraid.
Because the king could have got pissed off and put him to death. Why you looking like this in front of me? Read.
And said unto the king, let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste?
Read on.
And the gates thereof are consumed with fire.
Read on.
Then the king said unto me, for what dost thou make request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. And I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it.
Read on.
And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, for how long shall thy journey be? And when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time.
So Nehemiah saw the problem and he got up. He wasn't comfortable and complacent. He could have said, man, I got me a nice job. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm a cupbearer. I got money. I ain't got nothing to worry about. No, he heard about the plight of his people. He heard what was going on with his people, and he started moving. He wasn't comfortable. He was not complacent. That's something we need to take note of. When another forefather, you had Joseph. When Joseph got out of prison, Joseph prepared the whole land for the famine and did what? Saved his family. He was not complacent. He was not comfortable. We could go on and on. We cannot have that spirit. Let's get the next video. Yes, this is important. Y'all should be able to scroll through the pictures, I hope. Yeah, let y'all do it. Cool. Yep. Read that. Yeah, we don't need no sound. Read that.
Getting out of complacency. The version of you that got comfortable isn't the one that grows.
Hold on. It said the version of you that got comfortable isn't the one that grows. So understand, brothers and sisters, if this is you, you are not growing. You're going backwards. You're not moving. Read.
Comfort feels good, but it keeps everything the same.
Read that one more time.
Comfort feels good, but it keeps everything the same.
It feels good, but there is no change. Last time I checked, get 2nd Esdras 14:34. Let me show you something real quick. It feels good, but it keeps everything the same. There's no change. Watch this. 2nd Esdras 14:34.
2nd Esdras chapter 14 and verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding.
Read on.
And reform your hearts.
And do what? What's that word?
And reform your hearts.
To reform something is to transform. Change it. It's not going to stay the same if it's being reformed. So those that's comfortable and complacent, nothing is changing within you. It's staying the same. Keep going. Next slide.
Oh, did you want me to finish?
Oh, yeah, you can finish up.
Ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy.
We want to be kept alive and obtain mercy in the end. So we got to be reformed. We have to change. We cannot be complacent and comfortable. Next slide. Read that.
Growth begins where things feel unfamiliar, uncertain, uncomfortable.
That's that unknown. I don't know what's going to happen over here. This is new. This is different. Next slide.
The habits that built your current life won't build your next one.
Read that again.
The habits that build your current life won't build your next one.
You trying to level up. You can't have these same habits. Next slide.
Growth requires choosing discomfort before comfort chooses for you.
Read on.
You owe it to yourself.
Guess what? You know what's some discomfort? Some brothers, some sisters don't fast like they supposed to. The Bible tells you the Bible refers to fasting as afflicting your soul. It's not supposed to feel good. You are physically starving the flesh, but you strengthening the spirit on the fast. That's it on that. Let's get the next one. And we don't need no sound for these slides. We just need what is listed, these bullet points. Yep. Read that.
Ways to not be complacent.
Ways to not be complacent. We need this. Read that.
1. Set uncomfortable goals.
Uh-huh.
If the goal doesn't make you a little nervous, it won't make you grow.
You need something to light a fire under you. If it's not lighting a fire under you, it's not making you move, it's not shocking you, you're going to keep staying where you at. You're going to keep doing the same day in and day out routine. Next slide.
Number 2, give yourself deadlines.
Uh-huh.
Without a date, a dream turns into a someday, and
Yeah, that caption blocking everything.
And someday never comes.
And someday never comes. That's why you got to write things down. Put dates to it. Make it a reality. Or it's just a dream. You just a dreamer. Next slide.
Number 3, track your progress weekly.
Uh-huh.
What gets measured gets improved. Most people are stuck because they don't know where they're stuck.
You got to list everything. I did that for myself. I had looked back. I'm like, man, okay, I did this. And I got it. You can use your iPhone, your smartphone, or your Android, whatever. All these phones got a notes app where you could put bullet points and check stuff off. I looked, I had, okay, 1, 2. I'm checking all my checks, and then I see I got a bunch left. I'm like, man, I gotta get back on it. Next slide.
There's a little more at the bottom.
Go ahead.
Review wins, failures, what to fix.
You need to review wins, failures, and what to fix. Next slide.
Number 4, learn something new every month. Complacency grows when your knowledge stops growing.
Do you hear that? Learn something new every month. Complacency grows when your knowledge stops growing. You should always be learning. Next slide.
Put yourself where you're not the best. If you're always the smartest, strongest, or most successful person in the room, you've hit your ceiling.
We don't want to hit no ceiling. We want to keep elevating. Some people like being the smartest person in the room because you want to one-up somebody. You want the attention. That's not helping you. That's keeping you stagnant. That's keeping you at a standstill. That's going to make you go backwards. That's it on that? Or we got one more slide? All right, from there, get the next one. Next video. Oh, okay, yeah, get them slides. A lot of the prophets remember these slides. Pull these slides up. Yep, read that.
The law of momentum. Momentum is a leader's best friend.
Uh-huh.
The more momentum you have, the easier it is to steer and keep things moving.
We need momentum as leaders. If we don't got momentum, we don't have that thing to propel us forward, we going to stay what? Stagnant. We going to start to move backwards. Let's get the negative attributes. Pull that up. Pull that up. Uh-oh. Read that.
Negative attributes. Complacency. Becoming satisfied with the status quo.
You've been hearing that all lesson. You satisfied with where you at. I've made it. I'm good. Read on.
Leading to a loss of momentum and eventual stagnation.
You moving backwards. Ain't no more moving. Read.
Disorganization. Failing to maintain focus and direction, which causes momentum to dissipate and creates chaos.
That's what's going to end up happening because of the complacency, disorganization, and that's going to lead to what? Chaos. You ain't got nothing in order. You ain't trying to keep things in order. Everything is in disarray. You could drop that from there. Get 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 40. We know this scripture. We like to say it. We like to quote it. Read that scripture.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 40.
Come on.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
Read that one more time.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
If you comfortable and complacent, you're not going to make sure things are done decently and in order. You're comfortable. You don't feel like nothing should change. You don't have to move. That's not the name of the game in this truth. This truth is about change. It's about growing. It's about elevating. And some people are comfortable where they are. Let's get this last video.
Let me tell you something that will change your life if you let it sink in. Every single day you stay in your comfort zone, you're getting weaker. The human mind and body are not designed to be comfortable. They're designed to grow, adapt, and thrive under pressure. Comfort is a slow death, a prison that will keep you mediocre forever. You have to learn to embrace the pain, the fear, and the uncertainty. That's where all the growth happens. Successful people live in discomfort. They make peace with the struggle because they understand that their future self depends on how much they're willing to endure today. When was the last time you did something that scared the hell out of you? If you can't answer that, you're not growing, you're not pushing hard enough. Get uncomfortable, get scared, get aggressive. Your comfort zone has no place in the life of a high performer.
You hear that? Your comfort zone has no life, has no place in the life of a high performer. Complacency, a comfort zone, it has no life in a son of God, a daughter of Sarah, because it's going to hurt you in the end. So get Lamentations. Lamentations, what was that, 5? I think I'm talking about 4. Lamentation 4, let us search and try our ways. That's what I'm looking for. Probably mixing up them two chapters.
3 and 40.
Yep. Read that.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 40. Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto God in the heavens.
Read.
We have transgressed and have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned. Thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us. Thou hast slain, thou hast not pitied. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud that our prayer should not pass through.
What is that? That go back to Hosea 5 and 15. I will go and return to my place till y'all acknowledge your offense. You gonna seek me and not find me, like it's saying 2nd Esdras. Why? Because we in the midst of sin. We ain't right. But when it comes to us searching and trying our ways, we gotta be honest about what it is we doing and what it is we not doing. You know you ain't doing everything you could do. You know you could do a little more. You know you comfortable. You know you complacent. You know you fit. Some people feel like they ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to do that. No brother should feel like going on a fly mission is beneath him. Fly mission, that's where you get all your experience. But no matter where the Lord put you at, you should never feel like you can't get in the dirt. If you understand what I'm saying, you can't put your hands to the plow. So now you at this point, all this other stuff beneath you, or certain stuff you just don't got to do it. That's that comfortable complacency mind that's going to hurt you in the end. Read that again, verse 40. Read it again.
Lamentations chapter 3 and verse 40. Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord.
We have to search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Understand that, brothers and sisters. Hey, from there. Go to Revelation 3. Revelation 3. I'm probably skipping the chapter. No, 2 and 5. Revelation 2 and verse 5.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 5.
This is what got to happen with some of us. Read that.
Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen.
You got to be able to look at yourself and examine yourself before somebody say something. A lot of times we know where we falling short at. Sometimes you don't need to ask nobody. Sometimes you know where you falling short. Sometimes you know that you have gotten comfortable. You just ducking and dodging, looking in that thing that's called a mirror. You not being real. You in denial. No, I'm good. No, you not good. You know you ain't going hard as you did a couple years ago. You know you used to be here ready to help, but now it's every blue moon. Some not at all no more. Or you hard to reach now. That wasn't how you was before. You got to be able to examine yourself, catch yourself, and snap out of it and get back in the swing of things. Read that again.
Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen. And repent.
And do what?
And repent.
And do what?
And repent.
Read on.
And do the first works. Or else I will come unto thee quickly and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent.
What is that candlestick? That candlestick is your understanding. Don't forget that the Lord is the one that woke you up and brought you in this truth while you so comfortable. Don't forget that. Get 2 Esdras 14:25 for the candlestick. We're going to come right back. Some of us think that because we know this knowledge and we know who we is, we take this stuff for granted. You all comfortable. You sitting here, you feel like you ain't got to do nothing no more. You ain't got to put your hand to the plow no more. You made it. Read.
2 Esdras chapter 14 and verse 25.
What's that candlestick? Read.
And come hither, and I shall light a candle of understanding in thine heart.
In your heart. He's going to light a candle of understanding in your mind. The heart is your mind. That go back to Mark 7:21. Read on.
Which shall not be put out till the things be performed which thou shalt begin to write.
Let's go back. Vice versa. Go back.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 5. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent.
The Lord is going to remove that understanding from you and also remove you. You're going to be removed. We gotta really digest that and understand that with that spirit. When you comfortable and complacent, you're basically a dead spirit. That's what you are. No life in you. You here year after year, you ain't doing nothing. This is a warning. You better snap out of that. We in the last days, and you feel like you just gonna be on cruise control all the way to the kingdom. It don't work like that. Get 2 Esdras 9:24.
2 Esdras chapter 9 and verse 24. And therefore shake off thy great heaviness. No, I'm sorry, that's 10. 2 Esdras chapter 9 and verse 24. But go into a field of flowers where no house is builded. And
you know what? I'm wrong. It's 9 and 7. I went all the way to 24. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
These people here are not comfortable and complacent. You're not going to be in this boat right here if you are that dead spirit that feel like you ain't got to do nothing. You comfortable. You in your kingdom already. You not going to experience what we reading right here. You going to be the one in the fire. You going to be the one trying to explain. Like the parable where Christ gave the talents. And then when he returned, he was asking why the man didn't do what he was supposed to do. He said, thou wicked and slothful servant. So we got to examine ourselves. Stop playing games and snap out of it. Stop acting like you have arrived. Stop acting like you have made it. We are not in the kingdom yet. Some of y'all need to hear that. All right, that's going to conclude tonight's class. Hope y'all got something out of it. Do not be comfortable and complacent. All right, 12 Tribes Worldwide. Make sure you support the Booster Club.